Hi guys, welcome back to Nico Talks Hockey. Today I'm making a different kind of video. Today I'm analyzing everybody. Depending on what team you root for, I'm going to tell you what that means about you and what that says about you. So this is supposed to be a very lighthearted video, nothing taken too seriously, but I just want to jump right into it. I'm going to go through every single team and kind of go do some introspection of what that says about you if you root for that certain team. So without further ado, let's get right into it. The Boston Bruins. So if you're a Boston Bruins fan, what does that say about you? I think you've got a tough exterior. You're very witty with comebacks in an argument. Wicked smart. You're probably still bring up 2011, and you think grit is a lifestyle. Moving on to the Toronto Maple Leafs. If you're a Leafs fan, well, a good thing about you is you are ever optimistic. No matter how many disappointments come in your life, no matter how many curveballs come your way, you're still a believer. It does mean you do have a lot of trust issues, though. You're very traumatized, and you know heartbreak more than most. If you're a Montreal Canadian fan, you romanticize the past a bit. You believe that history equals superiority. You're probably bilingual in pain. Moving on to the Tampa Bay Lightning. If you're a Lightning fan, you've got lots of big brother energy. You're into trends before they're cool. You're used to winning all the time, though, and now you're kind of bored. If you're a Florida Panther fan, keeping it in Florida, if you're a Florida Panther fan, you love chaos. You can't get enough of chaos and everything about it. You are always the fun friend at the party. Everyone is looking forward and hoping that you'll be there at the party. You do not care a whole lot about tradition. Moving on to the Buffalo Sabres. If you are a Buffalo Sabres fan, you're the most loyal person that someone could have in their life. You're the most loyal friend that a person could have. And you believe in next year mentality with Olympic level optimism. Moving on to the Detroit Red Wings. You're an old school purist. Tradition matters a whole lot to you. And you are slowly warming up to the younger generation's sense of humor. And then lastly, of the Atlantic, the Ottawa Senators. If you're a Senators fan, you're always rooting for the underdog in any situation, whether that's sports or anything else in life. You're a big underdog, and you're always rooting for the underdog. Your favorite saying is "No pain, no gain." Moving on to the Central Division, to the Chicago Blackhawks. If you're a Chicago Blackhawks fan, chances are that you're a very sentimental and nostalgic person. You live for the glory days, right? And you believe in hard work over everything else. If you're a St. Louis Blues fan, you're very chill on the outside. Everyone thinks like, oh, this is just the most chill person. But inside, secretly, you're very competitive and you want to win everything. And you always believe that you and your team are dark horses no matter what. Moving on to the Minnesota Wild. If you're from Minnesota or you're a Wild fan, you're very down to earth. You're very humble. You live and breathe hockey, for one. You drink your coffee from a Stanley Cup shaped mug. The Winnipeg Jets, however, if you're a Winnipeg Jet fan, you never get the credit that you deserve. You're always underappreciated, and that's just how you roll. You're gonna prove everyone wrong one day, though, but unfortunately, you do also get very easily irritated. Dallas Stars. If you're a Dallas Star fan, you're a huge nerd. You love geeking out about your favorite shows, your movies, your bands, any fandoms. You love geeking out about that stuff, and you do have some type of collection at home, whether that's stamps, hockey cards, etc. And then if you're an Avalanche fan, if you're a fan of the Colorado Avalanche, Nathan MacKinnon and Cale Makar, you are a very confident person, and for good reason. Most people will call you cocky, but you love going to functions that where there's more talking instead of partying. If you're a Nashville Predators fan, you always bring good vibes. Vibes are like what you're about. You have a great taste in music, and you go to 5 or more concerts every year. And then lastly, of the Central Division, if you are a Utah Mammoth fan, the newest team in the NHL, if you're a fan of the Utah Mammoth, you're a meme lord. You love hoarding, collecting, sending memes. You always know how to make people laugh. You got a great sense of humor, and your favorite movies are all comedies. Moving on to the Metro Division, we've got the Carolina Hurricanes. If you're a fan of the Hurricanes, you have a deep respect for the analytical side of things. Not a big fan of the eye test. You you like to take a step back and look at situations with like a calm and collected head. And you're also probably very active on Twitter. If you're a fan of the New York Rangers, the Big Apple City, you've got huge main character energy. You're very stylish, you know how to dress well, and you love the spotlight. You become emboldened when more eyes are on you. Another New York team, moving on to the Islanders. If you are an Islanders fan, not only do you love having Matthew Schaefer on your team, but you're very blue collar. You're down tempo. You don't like when people make everything about themselves and be too flashy. Rangers, but you do hold mad grudges though. You can hold a grudge for life. Moving on to the New Jersey Devils. If you're a Devils fan, all your friends say you're unhinged, and you kind of get what they mean. You love potential more than results, whether that's relationships or your hockey team. Moving on to the Washington Capitals. If you're a Caps fan, you have intense rivalries with people, but you also treat your friends like family. You would ride or die for them. You basically do everything intensely. So if you're a Caps fan, you're doing everything with a lot of intensity. Speaking of intensity, if you are a Philadelphia Flyers fan, you always do everything 100%. There's no half measures going on around here if you're a Flyers fan. You love a good fight, and you're probably really good at telling players to shoot. Moving on to the Pittsburgh Penguins. If you're a Penguins fan, you always keep it classy when it comes to competition and competing with people. But you also don't really know how to internally handle when you're losing, because you're usually good at everything you do. You're also very averse to change. So you value consistency quite highly. And then the last team of the Metro here, the Columbus Blue Jackets. If you're a fan of Blue Jackets, well, you're probably from Ohio, and you may have a slight kink for suffering. But that aside, you are the textbook definition of what it means to be loyal, and you probably have great taste in music and hobbies. Moving on to the last division here, we've got the Pacific Division, and first up is the Vancouver Canucks. If you are a Canucks fan, well, you are emotionally unstable, but you already know that. You just call that being passionate, right? All jokes aside, you are a great planner, and you always know the best spots to go to, whether that's eating, sightseeing, or what have you. Moving on to the San Jose Sharks. If you are a Sharks fan, you believe the future is teal. You're a kind of person that when you commit to something, you're passionate. You don't give up until the job is done, until you've seen it through. Chances are you also have a very sarcastic sense of humor. Moving on to the Edmonton Oilers. If you are an Oilers fan, you worship McDavid like a god, it's a religion. And when something goes wrong in your life, whether that be in work or personal life or sports, you can always blame the goalie. Moving on to the Calgary Flames. If you are a Flames fan, you have a great inner personality, but you only show that to your closest of friends, only the people that you are really warmed up to. You let out your really cool inner personality. But you also have a stubborn side that finds it hard to admit defeat or admit fault at times. Moving on to the Vegas Golden Knights. Not only are you someone that roots for bad guys in movies a lot of the time, but when someone looks up the word flashy in the dictionary, a picture of you shows up. Some people might call you obnoxious, but you always tell them that they don't know how to have fun. And you're good at pretty much everything you do, right from the get-go. Moving on to the last two teams here, we've got the Anaheim Ducks. If you're a Ducks fan, well, you've got a great taste in movies. You're a little too unserious at times, even when you shouldn't be, but you also always know how to have a good time. And then lastly, if you are a fan of the Seattle Kraken, if you're a fan of the team with some of the best colors in the whole National Hockey League, well, you're all about the vibes. Whether it's you that are bringing them or you like to hang around people who bring the good vibes. Good vibes are what matter to you most in your life. But that's been the video. Please let me know in the comments below how accurate this was. If you're a fan of one of those teams, how accurately did I assess your personality and the traits that you have. If you like the video, please consider liking and subscribing. That would mean so much to me. And I'll see you guys in the next video.